All right, so we took this set of lettering notes, did the heading, essential question, we wrote the notes section. For most of us, we didn't have any questions as we wrote the note, so it's blank. So what we're gonna do today, like I said, one of the reasons that Cornell notes are scientifically proven to help you remember stuff better is because you're supposed to revisit this set of notes, and you're supposed to revisit this set of notes a day after you wrote them and convert this information into question form. Now, for the most part, we're gonna have 2 to 3 questions depending on the information that you have here. So for this, it was just a little bit of writing, a lot of drawing and pictures. So we're just gonna write 2 questions. So I'm gonna kind of go through this the way I think when I'm writing my questions. So I'm reading my notes, and I'm thinking, okay, as I'm reading this, is there a question that I think could be on a test or a quiz that my teacher could ask? So I'm looking through here. Making bubble or block letters. Stick letters represent bones like a skeleton. Oh, look, that might be a question. So that's what I'm gonna write first. What do stick letters represent? When making bubble and block letters. That's the first question. As I was reading that, that's the first one that came to my mind. So what do stick letters represent when making bubble or block letters? And according to our notes, they represent bones like a skeleton. And then I would just continue reading this. So it says, add meat to the bones to make bubble or block letters. Use guidelines, make guidelines light. Oh, look, and I even underlined it. So maybe that's kind of important. And then what I tell students is, remember, you can make these questions into any type form. So I'm gonna try to make this easier. So I'm gonna go with a true or false question. True or false? You should make guidelines dark. When using them in lettering. And those are the 2 questions that I'm gonna write for this set of notes. So true or false, make guidelines dark when you're using them for lettering. And that would be my 2 questions that I would write for this. So here at the bottom, the last thing we have here, this last section, would be a summary. I'm gonna go ahead and move this up a little bit. As far as my summary goes, just in a sentence or 2, you're gonna, whatever information you had up here, you're gonna try to write something in your own words that kind of puts it all together. So for me, I'm gonna go with and you can copy this one or you can make your own. If you can make stick letters, you can use those as a skeleton to make bubble, bubble and block letters. Boom. That would be my summary. And that is that set of notes completed. Complete. So, I don't think I went over last time, how I grade these notes, but for the most part, like I said, the first couple of times we write these, we'll go through them all together. And then usually after the fourth or fifth time, then on your own as a warm-up, the next time you come in, you will write questions and you will write the summary. And let me see if I can write this down for you so you can kind of see. So just looking at a blank template of notes. So each section, like the heading, topic, name, and all that, that's worth 20 points, including, from its, and including the essential questions. So all this heading, all this, 20 points. And then your note section, the main part of it, is worth 40 points. All your notes section. So there's 60. You're still missing 40. So guess what? Even though there's small sections, like I said, they're important so you can revisit your notes. They're important so you can try to remember some of this. Question section, 20 points. And the summary, 20 points. So that's why it's important to do those sections, just to get your mind wrapped around that idea again. The more times you visit something, the more times you're apt to at least get a little something of it. So that's how we do Cornell notes. So a lot of times when people are absent and I grade notes or they turn them in like unfinished, like, hey, how come I got a 60 on that set of notes? Well, probably because you missed questions and summary. So at any time, if there's a grade that you don't like, just fix what you missed and I'll recheck it. So that's how that goes. All right. So this is our set of notes completed. And I will take a picture of this and I'll post it in case you missed any of it. All right, the next thing you need is another blank piece of paper. We're actually going to start a drawing today. I'm going to try to teach you some tips. The main things we do in Art 1 is we try to bring your drawing skills from whatever level you're at now and improve them. So I'm going to try to teach you some of the things that I do and the way I learned that have worked for me. Because there were some things that people taught me that didn't work. So I'm not going to teach you that. For the most part, we're going to learn how to sketch, and then we're going to draw with the grid method. I don't know if anyone knows what grid drawing is, but it's when you put a picture, you break up a picture into small squares, and then you draw one square at a time onto your drawing paper. So for today, we're going to, together, we're going to sketch out this drawing. And then once we're done sketching, your job for the rest of class, your assignment is going to be to finish drawing that picture. So we're going to sketch this out, and some of you are going to be able to tell what it is. Some of you are going to be like, nope, I can't tell what that is. But once you see the picture, you'll kind of see how my thought process was going. Because when we're talking about sketching, boom. When we're talking about sketching, we're talking about looking at something, a complicated picture, and breaking it up into simple shapes. And don't draw this yet. This is my we'll call it, this is my warm-up paper. And in a minute, I'll tell you when to start drawing. So when we're talking about simple shapes, when I'm talking about sketching, for me, simple shapes to me are like circles, triangles, squares, rectangles, ovals, and lines, lines. And if you don't know what a sketch is, it's a very loose, light line that you use as a plan. That's how you're going to plan out your picture before you start drawing. Because one of the issues as beginning artists that we have is sometimes we look at something and then we just try to like pick a spot and start drawing like our final finish lines, like our good picture since the very start. And what winds up happening is sometimes the drawing's too small, sometimes the drawing's too big, sometimes we started off wrong, so that throws the whole picture off. So for that reason, we're gonna do these sketches to plan our picture. If you think about it like an English class, a sketch would be considered like your rough draft. So you kind of very lightly in pencil draw simple shapes to kind of help you put things together in its place. And then from there, you pick the part you think is the easiest and start drawing. And as an artist, you always start drawing super light and you build up your picture. And you don't make your lines dark until you know they're correct and that's gonna be your finished line. Now, next time we meet, we're gonna start doing our warm-up drawings. And for the most part, those are like cartoon drawings. And the reason I like picking cartoons is because most of these cartoons have nice boundary lines, like they're outlined. They're not like real pictures where you really have to focus on value and shading. And for the most part, you just got to worry about reading shapes and reading lines. And that's how come one of the things I asked you on your first day questionnaire was what cartoons or animated shows do you like? So I can start picking some of those and you'll have these warm-up pictures. So today's drawing, I guess you can consider it our first warm-up picture, but I just want to see kind of how you guys draw. I want to see your abilities, and you know what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of evaluating you guys. So let me show you this picture. Well, no, I'm not going to show you the picture. Let me show you how I would sketch this picture, and then I will show you the picture, and then you will have the rest of class to draw it. All right. Let me get a new paper. Now for this part, if you want to follow along, follow along. I am drawing this sketch in marker so you can see it on the screen. Because if I was to draw it in pencil, sometimes you can't see it. You guys need to draw this in pencil lightly. All right, so you guys that are watching, pencil lightly. All right, let me put the... Here, let me do something real quick. Let me put the picture on my screen, and then I'll continue sharing the camera. All right, let's try it again. Boom. All right, so here's today's picture. Like I said, you guys draw this lightly in pencil. All right, so it goes something like, if I split this, okay, that's the first shape I have. Kind of like this, I guess, rectangle shape going off the page. I don't know. All right. The second thing I see is like an oval. So that's my second line. And, you know, and I'll talk as I kind of thinking through this. You know, when you draw these sketch lines, like I said, you want to draw them light because this is just kind of an idea of where things go. Once you start drawing this, doesn't mean necessarily you have to follow these lines. So this just gives you an idea of kind of where things go. The main thing of a sketch, you know, when you look at a picture, you want to make sure it's going to fit on your paper. So you don't want to have like a drawing that you start in the middle and then you have all this empty space around it. And for that reason, you want to do a little bit of planning. All right, let me add a couple of things here. Kind of see this line going like this, like a Nike swoosh. Let's see, like this little half circle. I see that line there. I don't know if I can tell what that is, but I see a line there. And that for me I think would pretty much be my beginning sketch. So, like I said, I don't want to draw more because you'll be able to tell what it is. Can anyone tell what this is? Anyone want to take a guess? All right, go for it. If you know what it is, unmute yourself. I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Okay, okay. It's gonna surprise you. Like I said, for these pictures, I usually pick animated shows. So this it is a cartoon. I mean, it is that's a hint I guess I could give you. All right, look, I'm gonna do a little bit more of my sketch, and then you'll be able to guess. Maybe a couple more things. Check this out. So from here, the next thing I see is like kind of like this oval, and then this oval here has like all right, can anyone tell what it is just from those couple of circles? All right, I think that's all I'm gonna give you. So now I am going to put the real picture on the screen, and what I want you to do is I want you to take some time, because this is today's lesson, talking about breaking up a picture into simple shapes, lightly sketching it, kind of like as a rough draft. And then from that rough draft, you build it up into a finished picture. So, like I said, this is the sketch. Now, when you look at the picture, you might think to yourself, well, heck, some of these lines don't even match. It's off. Remember that a sketch is not meant to be like the final finished picture. It's just meant to give you an idea of where things go. So like if you need to move this over, or if it's bigger, or if this is smaller, the shape is not, you make all those changes, but this at least gives you an idea of where things go so that you can fill your page as much as you can. It doesn't mean that this is exactly what it looks like, because it doesn't. This is just kind of an idea of what it looks like. Okay? So for the rest of class, I'm actually going to keep drawing myself too, because I'm recording on my phone, and the recording that I do on my phone, I will upload that into the Google Classroom. And if you want to kind of see what my picture looks like at the end, you can kind of like click on that video and scroll to the end and see kind of how I built it up at the end. Let me see, I see some chats here. Is this Adventure Time? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Someone said Adventure Time, yep. It is. All right, let me switch the screens. Boom. I don't know, can y'all see that? It should be a Word document with Finn and Jake. Can y'all see that? I stopped sharing my camera. So like I said, now you can look at this picture, and we're drawing whatever you see on the screen, including the background, including the clouds, the snow, or whatever that is on the ground. I think it's snow. Whatever you see in that picture, try to put it onto your paper. Okay? Like I said, I'm going to continue drawing myself, so we'll just take this time to work. I'm going to mute myself. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Anyone have any questions? Let me check the chat, make sure there's no questions there. All right, so you guys take some time, work on this picture. I'm gonna keep working, and we'll see what we have here in a little bit. Okay. So what I'm drawing here is, with this pink marker, so I'm kind of going in and seeing how I would, clean up my sketch lines. Like I said, if you see something that as you're drawing doesn't fit into your sketch, those sketch lines are not final. So you can switch them up and put them into place. And something else. And I'm kind of drawing myself, so I'm kind of just trying to give you some pointers, but remember that these sketch lines are not set in stone. These sketch lines are just to help you kind of give you an idea where things go. So if you need to move things around, or if something doesn't fit, then move it. And for you guys that are just, beginning to draw, just try your best and don't get all out of whack if it doesn't look exactly like the picture. Because it all, just like anything else, it's just about practice, doing something over and over, because I can guarantee you that even like the best artists, it's not going to look exactly like the reference picture. So you guys just use those sketch lines to help you out and, build up your picture a little at a time. Oh yeah, and for you guys that were having a hard time once you're done with this sketch, my train of thought is always, if I look at this picture, for me, what do I think is the easiest thing to draw? And that's usually where I'll start. That'll be my starting point. Whatever I think is the easiest, that's where I'll start. And then I'll just start in that one area and then just kind of expand out. So that's what you need to do. Bang. All right. I think that's kind of where I want to be. All right, I'm looking at the background. See what I can do with the background. The back. Okay. Okay. Boom. All right. And that's kind of what it would build up to, right? Those pink lines. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black marker and then clean it up. Hopefully you can see the black marker on top of all those. So I'll just pick a spot and start drawing there. See, so now, I'm also like looking at my pink lines here. When we're talking about building it up, means it doesn't necessarily have to follow exactly your pink lines. You can still make small adjustments as you're drawing those things. Boom. Okay. Like on that section, I thought his arm was a little bit too wide, so I just made it a little bit narrower. than what I had originally drawn. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in. I'll continue working down. Okay. Okay. Oh snap, I forgot the other leg. I forgot one of the legs. I'll draw it here in a minute. Let me finish drawing my clouds and Okay. Oh, ito me falta la. Yeah, so if you're finished with the sketch, like on this drawing, yeah, you can start coloring. Yeah. So I guess that's, oh no, I need the leg. I forgot about that. But I totally forgot about it, so I'm gonna draw it in pencil. Because I don't wanna mess, because I think my picture looks decent. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Maybe a little bit higher. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. So the last thing before I turn off this recording is next time we're going to talk a little bit about coloring, how we want to finish these pictures to be nice and presentable. So, you know, I had a list, supply list for you guys. Just the main thing is, you know, if you haven't got them yet, I know sometimes we can't just go out to the store and get things, but look around, see if you have any colored pencils. We're looking for colored pencils, markers, and paper. So just make sure you have those things. Next time when we meet, we're going to talk about how to add color to your work. So finish this up, and yeah. And if you want to add color to this one, you can go ahead and add a color. I'm not going to on mine because since it's like all in marker, then it would be really weird looking. But on yours, if you sketch yours lightly in pencil, then you will be able to erase all your sketch lines. So if like all my green lines, all my pink lines, if they had been done lightly in pencil, then I could have, you know, outlined with the black marker or a Sharpie and then just erased all of those pencil lines. So that's one of the reasons that, you know, it's kind of cool to sketch, because you build up your picture. And once you have your finished, your final lines, you can outline and then you can erase all your pencil with a big eraser. All right, guys, see y'all next time.